So most people still think Instagram is about becoming an influencer, like posting pictures, chasing likes, chasing algorithms, trying to look like somebody important. But that era is dead. Instagram in 2025 is no longer about vanity metrics. Instagram is now about opportunities. Opportunities to connect with people who need exactly what you deliver. Opportunities to build trust with strangers at scale. An opportunity to create a system that feeds your pipeline on autopilot. And the truth is, most founders completely miss this because they're stuck in old tactics. Begging for attention with spammy DMs, renting attention with paid ads, and grinding for attention through networking that doesn't scale. It's not a business, it's a hamster wheel. But the better and smarter way is now to set up Instagram as the front door of your business. Not to make you famous, not to turn you into an influencer, but to turn Instagram into a system that consistently books you calls. So before we begin, I want to preface, you're probably thinking about every single excuse of why you can't start posting on Instagram right now. Oh, I don't have time to post, it's probably too saturated and there's too many other agencies and coaches doing what I'm doing. I'm not confident on camera and I don't feel good. It doesn't take 5 hours a week to be running an Instagram page. We have systems that let you run them in 1 to 3 hours. It is not saturated either. There's probably around 50 to 100 people that are posting consistently with the right strategy and algorithm in every niche. There is enough clients for anybody in any single niche that you can think of. You just need to understand where they hang out and where to find them. And people are gonna like you for you and your individual qualities. So you're gonna stand out naturally against people that are 4 or 5 years ahead of you, right? And you don't need fancy equipment either. We've seen brand scale with webcams, simple phone cameras, and very average editing ability. All they have is clarity, positioning, and the right systems to go and acquire some clients. Because when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, 70% of people are using Instagram for education, and 51% of them say they learn new things on there. And in today's trust recession, people no longer care about ads or branding. They trust real creators, real people, giving real value. And that's why the Instagram foundations matter. Not for likes, not for clout, but for authority and predictable opportunities. So let me prove it to you. I had a client named Jitka. On our first call, I showed her a very simple acquisition strategy that she could use to go out and reach her potential ICP. Nothing complicated, simple scripts. We ran through it very quickly. And 2 hours later, I get this message here. Within 2 hours, she had 2 calls in her pipeline ready and waiting for her. And that's the power of Instagram. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a very simple 0 to 1 setup and how to go out and message some people that are potential buyers as well. And I'm going to be very clear, this is a simple setup. One thing I got wrong at the start of my journey is that thinking I had to perfect everything. If there's one thing to take away, it doesn't have to be perfect. Authenticity scales more than deception. Always know at the back of your mind, at the very root of this is you talking to another human being who is interested in buying what you have to offer. And that doesn't come down to how well your story highlights are laid out. That comes down to how you come across as a human. So if they can't resonate with that, they won't buy. But trust me, once you've got this right, your YouTube, your offers, your scaling, everything else becomes a lot easier. So without further ado, here's how you can start signing some high ticket clients on Instagram and fill up your pipeline with predictable acquisition systems. Let's get straight into it. We're going to be doing the Instagram Mastery 101, giving you everything that you need to be starting, generating leads, and looking like someone that actually knows what they're doing on Instagram. Now, I have tried to record this a minute ago, but it didn't work, so I'm not happy about it. But the basic overview of this is not to just perfect your profile, right? Because there's no real perfect profile. There's people doing 10, 15, 20k a month. Far from optimized profiles. So you don't need this stuff. And that's what I want to preface. But it's good to have some basic things, definitely in terms of conversions and getting better conversions, looking better and having more authority as well. So first of all, think of your profile as your funnel. It's like a shop front. If it's messy, unclear, you don't know where you're going and there's some random bloke shouting in the corner, you're probably going to leave, right? So what you need to do is operate in the mindset that you need to aim to convert someone that's completely cold, that doesn't know you, into a warm lead at least in under 5 seconds on opening your page. So that comes through being very clear about what you're offering. And you're going to see that there's some things on this module that I don't have on my profile. You don't need everything. And I think if it's so perfect, you're looking at an extra maybe 1-2% conversions. No one's going to say like, oh, he doesn't have a CTA on his third post, I'm not converting. No. It's going to come down to your vibrational energy, how you come across in the end. But there are some small things that we can help. And I would suggest optimizing for authority more than perfection. Structure, clarity, and a next step, somewhere they can opt in is key. And this looks like somewhere they can find more from you, somewhere they can opt in, like I say, and somewhere they can get value up front. Again, I don't even have this. I don't have my YouTube in my bio profile links. Not a big deal. So let's look at the bio first of all. So I help X do Y by Z. Again, I've just put with ease. Some people put their framework, so I could have put with my growth triad. Is it a big deal? Probably not. Then I've gone into a bit more about the growth triad, and then I said I'm a performance coach and growth partner. Simple. It basically just helps people understand what you're doing. If you're a life coach, I help busy mums heal their inner child and parent from a place of love in 30 days, 90 days, even put a time on it. I've got a video that's going through offer as well. So if you want to check out my profile, you can just go view the whole thing. Do some sort of CTA with your profile link. For me, I've got my website and I've got my audit, a free audit. Somewhere they can opt in, get free value up front, book a call, and then view more value from you. YouTube or a newsletter, so critical for nurturing your clients. Long form content. Imagine someone reads a 10-minute newsletter from you. That's 10 minutes of you just absorbing basically their whole bandwidth. That means they're going to be in a much better position to buy, or at least sign up for more information, right? And some point down the line, buy. So the bio's there. It's not deep. Get it across. Understand what you do. Provide some authority or social proof. Maybe it's I help 100 high achievers do the same thing. Coach 30 mums to in a piece. I've made 5,000 websites. I've worked with ClickFunnels, whatever. Optimize for authority. Cool. Next, profile picture. A photo of your face, make sure they can see your face. You can even brand it, use something that you love doing. This is me out when I'm traveling. Thumb up, you can see it's inviting. You're going to see that in the DMs. You're also going to see your name in the DMs. So make sure this is your whole name, and then maybe a little bit about your offer, what you do, scaling coaches, building websites, something like that. Boom. And this is SEO as well. So this shows up in search results. Highlights. So 4 key highlights I would always recommend: testimonials, lifestyle, so like day-to-day stuff, your story, and then some more value. So I've got testimonial, life maxing, just videos of me, performance, testimonials, YouTube, and then my journey. Cool. Make it neat. One thing I'd say is a lot of people don't tidy this up, and you don't have to, but I like it. It looks way better, way more professional when it's tidied up. Cool. And then again, profile links. You can even just put a book a call link. No one's going to book a call straight away, but at least it's there. But some sort of website, social proof, somewhere they can opt in, or a YouTube channel. Sweet. Not a link tree. No one has ever clicked a link tree. Unless they're already a very warm prospect, no one's going to click a link tree. So that's your badger there. Finally, settings, just switch to a profile account and add contact buttons for quick reach. Again, not really necessary. Okay, next, this one is all about content. So content is extremely important, and we're going to try and give as much value as possible in this, because it is like most of the nurturing is going to be through content, or at least the first touch point and the last touch point. So remember, your ecosystem, your short form content is going to get the most eyeballs on. Then you're going to go around in this nurturing cycle where you want at least 7 touch points. Most buyers need at least to see you 7 times before they convert to a paid client. So you want to be getting as much eyeballs on your content and then nurturing those people round to where they convert. And that is normally through short form content as well. So it will be like an impulse where they'll be like, all right, I'll sign up, bang. Next thing in your ecosystem. Or it will be a long form CTA at the end, bang. But we'll talk about that more later on. 3 types of content you want to optimize, really, in a very simplistic manner. You want top of funnel, getting the most eyeballs on your content. Where have I just disappeared off to? Top of funnel, the most eyeballs possible on your content. Middle of funnel, this is like the nurturing, speaking to pain points, or it's not really speaking to pain points, really just nurturing them, providing the authority, being the person that can solve their problems in the lens of I'm solving that problem, not I need you to deal with this. Bottom of funnel, you're speaking like you're just sat down and you're just like a friend that is very concerned about them and is trying to get them to take them over the edge. Like, look, I can see that you're struggling in the morning, you're getting tired by 10 a.m, you're binge eating food all day, you're not sleeping properly, you're drinking 10 cups of coffee. Why are you doing this? Look, we can provide the solution to whatever your dream outcome is. That's really bottom of funnel, where you speak very much to their pain and you want them to convert into either an opt-in where you can get them on a call or just into a paying client. I'd say top of funnel, 40% of your content, just get eyeballs. A lot of people just hang out at the bottom of the funnel. I think top of funnel, get as many eyeballs on your content. 30% nurturing, so 30% on Instagram, speaking to value, giving them clear authority posts, and then bottom of funnel where you speak to pain and try and get them to convert. But the basic premise is you're going to have top of funnel, which gets eyeballs, value driven content which nurtures, bottom funnel, which converts. I always do talking heads. I think talking heads is one of the best ways to speak. So these are more edited videos. So these are going to be more like middle funnel, bottom of funnel. These are template videos. It's like advice I'd give you if you were burnt out. It's like a trending top reel, something that I've seen that's gone viral. Same with this. That's going to be our top of funnel post where we're getting eyeballs on the content. And then we're going to do some pain driven ones as well, which again are talking heads. Instagram, nowadays, editing is that 10% optimization that you need. You don't need to be editing crazy videos to be getting views. Again, and you're going to edit, most of the time you're going to see people will spend hours on editing or pay someone to do it and you just won't get that many views. I'm not saying editing's bad, but there's just so many people doing editing. So if you're doing editing, you want to understand that you are competing still. If you're trying to woo people with the quality of your editing, you need to understand that that's competing then with everyone else that's doing editing, that's paying thousands, have got teams doing the editing, where if you do it right, you get the right eyeballs, and then you can just nurture them naturally with your own presence, vibrational being. So let me show you. I won't be able to show you up. Let's see if we can get on. She's been having some issues with yeah. Okay. Anyway, she doesn't really edit her videos, but she's got just a very warm presence and a good rate authority on her page, and I think that is how she's like. That is basically her edge now when she's filming videos, is that she just naturally possesses that energy that's of someone that's like can speak to the target audience's pain. So again, camera, didn't fancy it. Keep the lighting great no matter what. Make sure you can see your face clearly and the microphone's good. Again, are you a casual? Are you a more authoritative, value-driven post? Are you more of a storyteller? All convert, all do well, but you just need to figure out what works best for you. Now, this next one is very important. Stories are 90% of the conversions. Your posting can be great. Stories is where people really get to know you. So always be filling up your stories, always full of engaging stuff, getting people to vote on polls, whatever. And then do funnel systems on your stories as well. I'm sure if you see me and you've been following me long enough, you'll see that I do them. But those stories are where you really convert people and where people really get to know you. Fill up your story all day. Over posting your story, there's no real way of doing that because that's still going to be nurturing people. If that's what your branding's like and you're just constantly all day a fitness coach that just posts about every meal they have, people actually will listen to that and people love that you just keep showing up. So I don't think there's much overdoing there. We're back. Next one is about finding leads. Just finding people that could be interested in your product that you have to offer. So there's 3 ways we go about this. 3 main ways, and these are the ways we find the most helpful. However, it's always chopping and changing, but these are the ways that I found the most joy. The first one is an app called Growman. So this is basically going to scrape, there we go, Instagram followers of whoever we want. So say that you're a life coach, we'll find Tony Robbins, or we'll find Dean Graziosi, or just someone that maybe coaches, Jay Shetty, for example. His following is going to be absolutely full of life coaches. So that means that what we'll do is scrape his whole following list, and then we'll set up a custom GPT. We won't show you, but we've got a custom GPT that will basically filter those for qualified leads. And then we'll go through and manually filter after that, and you're going to find the best high quality leads. The best thing about that outreach strategy is that it's people that you don't necessarily interact on DMs. So they're very hard to get hold of. You'll notice that with the other ones, you'll find a lot of like the same people because you're going to get the same videos being spat out to you. This one, you're going to get the fresh people that might not even be that active when it comes to their Instagram feed, but are still running their business on Instagram and therefore qualified. However, it's very time consuming to do. In a sense, it's very time consuming. Obviously, we all systemize it. And there's also a risk of suspension if overused. But we have methods for that as well. Number 2. So we target followers of our competitors or niche accounts. Not scraping them necessarily, but just targeting their followers and finding out more people based off that are like them. So again, we can go just discover. So you can do this as well. On your phone, you can actually go to discover page, which is literally just a page of content that Instagram thinks that you'll like. And if you get the algorithm right, all that content will be filled with get me clients, basically. So on my phone, it does that. However, here we go. These. So he's doing a post about getting clients from Instagram. People that are going to be liking that or following him are going to be interested in what I have to offer as well. So we'll drop him a follow, and boom, all of a sudden we get suggested tons of people. Now, they're not necessarily interested in getting clients per se, but they're going to be people that are just like him, mastering the digital landscape for success, digital marketing agents, sales and life coach, Tony Robbins. If I follow him, they're going to give me lots of suggestions like Tony Robbins. Try not to go too big, because obviously people like Tony Robbins, a lot of the suggestions are going to be people like Tony Robbins. So not going to be good leads, not going to be people interested in our service, most likely. But I would say this guy's a good lead. I would say that the accounts that were there, they would be good leads. And also, you follow him. I don't think this would work too well on laptop. But if you're on your phone and you follow them, you go to, it's not going to do it. But when you follow them, you'll be able to, see if I can do it on my phone now. So when you click on their followers, boom, here. So pretend I'm on a phone, right? You click on their followers, then what it's going to come up with is a For You section here. You'll see the For You section. Boom. That's all spat out in the algorithm. People at Instagram will think that you'd like. And this is where we sort of manipulate the algorithm a little bit to get people, Instagram, to spit us out people that would potentially buy from us, not necessarily content that we want to watch, people that would buy from us. And then boom. So I can tell you now, I'm on the For You page for Rob the Bank. And you can see it up here. Potentially buyers. Just looking at a few, they look like good buyers. And you can always X them off. If not, and it will send you new ones. So, second strategy for getting leads. Some pros first, pretty easy to do, pretty scalable. Decent quality leads as well, because most likely they're going to be in that person's network. So they're going to be decent, of the same caliber of as that type of person. Does that make sense? When you're scraping followers, it could be people that are at 0k, people at 30k. Whereas this way, you're going to get consistent people. Cool. So that's the second way. And then the final way, like I said, we're going to get the algorithm to spit us out people that are interested in potentially buying our service because they're interacting with people like us. And we do that through following people like us and liking their content. Neil's, again, would be a good example. Neil's, I'm absolutely swamped in Neil's ads, right? I didn't mean to do that. You go on his likes. Now, this is an ad about funnel systems. So these people on here that are liking his page are going to be interested in funnel systems, which means they're probably running a business and interested in growing that business. So you can go through like this, do it on your phone as well, but you can see he's running a business. He's probably interested in scaling. He's a decent person to message. Let's look at another example, because Neil's is quite big. Jeff Nippard. So mine's not perfect, right? School, another good example. 1.4 thousand likes. Obviously, it's not going to give you all of them, but you're going to get such a good like of people that you can go and message. See if there's any there. If they're qualified. What this is basically meaning, why would we pay for ads? Why would we worry about doing all the marketing? We could just go steal the people that are worrying about theirs, do a better offer, and then position ourselves better. So that's the third way. Find that it's not, but most of my page is all going to be about people getting clients. People are trying to sell you an online course. Yeah. Third way of doing it, acquisition on Instagram. These are 3 organic methods. We're going to talk about messaging and how we actually convert those people, which is a whole different ball game. But being able to go out and see and visualize your ICP, see what they look like, see what they're posting, see what they get up to, see where they hang out, see what they're commenting, see whatever. That's another thing, comments as well. Finally, so for example, was a coach, very likable coach. He's got no likes on his post. Okay, good example. 7 likes. So obviously, these people are going to be interested in his either life coaching offer or his, so they would be good people to message. He also gets comments. So, here we go. Yeah, there'll be comments on posts as well that you can go and watch. In comments that are like, God, I've got to find one now, don't I? Okay, Jelly Bean. An agency owner. So most people have a CTA is what I'm trying to find. CTA DM ads, and I'll send you my ad playbook. Those posts you're gonna have a lot of comments basically that say ads. Find them, message those people. They're looking at running ads. They're looking at growing their business. DM clients, and I'll show you my exact client acquisition strategy. Someone DMs clients, comments clients on that post. They're a smoking hot lead. Module 4: how we're gonna message, how we're gonna outreach to these people. Now, ideally, we're gonna get some inbound off content, right? And that's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, whether you have a setter yet or not, we're going to have a setter trained based on inbound leads, but they're going to be a lot easier to convert. We will, however, be doing outbound as well, and I think outbound's good for me. It works for me really nicely. So we're going to do it. The offer itself is 40-50% of what's going to get you good replies. That's why we hone in on the offer. So no matter if you spend 3 hours crafting the perfect DM specifically for one person, if you're offering them like a bag of peanuts and a Snickers bar, not clever. So first thing you really got to understand, your offer is really what stands out here, regardless of that, whether that's in the DM or just on your profile. So the psychology of the first DM. If I show you my DMs right now, you'd see the state. Some of them are so bad, and there's so many people that are just doing generic outreach, like they're gonna get something. So you need to stand out somehow, whether that is more naturally or just giving them an irresistible offer, or just being a bit ratty. No one's ever killed anyone for saying a bit of a ratty outreach. As long as the heart posture is in the right place, outreach is just for the first reply. So there's a few acquisition methods and a few first DM methods that we can use. Some that have worked for me is definitely a compliment and a natural pitch. Hey man, keep smashing it. Thanks, bro. Oh, I notice you're in remote sales. How's that going? Great. I've had conversation with people for 3 days before I've even pitched them. 3 days straight. Sometimes I start the conversation and I end up just naturally just having a conversation with people, and then it doesn't feel natural to pitch, so I don't pitch. That is one of the issues with that. If you're trying to get clients, sometimes you could end up actually liking them, like actually end up just having a nice conversation with people, and then that takes away from that acquisition. But then that's a connection, then that's someone that you've connected with, and then potentially is in your network from there. Or you can ask a question which forces a reply. How much is your program? People are going to reply to that. That's a great one, because how much is your program? You're not being too ratty with it, because anyone's going to answer that question. Whether they tell you the price or not, they're going to reply, right? As opposed to the other one that I've used. Are you accepting new clients? It's so ratty. Everyone thinks you're going to ask them. Everyone thinks you're a potential client, but they reply. You understand? So the mindset you need to be in is just get a first reply, and then after that, people mainly won't really care. The golden rule after you get that first reply is just talk to them like a friend. Don't be doing very over exaggerated outreach. Oh, I love that. You're so sick. I understand. That's nice. Just sitting down with a friend. You have to be ratty to stand out sometimes, or you have to do some very natural nurturing. But whenever you're speaking to them, please just talk like a normal person. Let's take a look at the first types. So like, obviously the soft rapport, keep smashing it, low friction, people will reply. You can have some good conversations. And then if you've got the offer and you've got the right service and you've got the right positioning, they're going to obviously naturally at some point look at your page. They're going to feel more connected to your offer, more obliged to do that. A direct DM. So this is just like pure flex. And this is probably not something I'd do if I was starting out. I'm accepting a few new clients. Are you interested in hearing a bit more? I've worked with 30 chiropractors, actually helping them grow their business. They found this resource really useful. Do you mind if I share it with you? Something that provides authority, gives the proof of concept, and then just gives them a little nudge forward. The one that's not on here is sort of a Loom video, something I've done quite a lot for people. Very hyper personalized, walking through their pain, literally walking through their pain as you go through their page. And if you can speak their pain better than they can, so I can see that your editing is not amazing, right? I feel like you're spending too much time on that editing. You could be better leveraging something else. It seems like the carousels that you're posting are a little bit, they're just up to par, whatever. You understand what I mean? Yeah, where you walk through their page, walk through their funnel, walk through their website, speak their pain better than they can. Obviously, you can only do that if you're selling like a client getting or some way of scaling their business. Because if I'm a life coach and I'm walking through someone's page, it's like, you look miserable in that photo. No one, that's just not going to happen. You can only use that if you've got the right sort of business. And then finally, a question, like I said, are you accepting new clients? How much is your program? I think they're the two main ones I'd use for that. Then finally, like I said, inbound is important. Hopefully we'll have a set of trained. If not, we're going to run through that. It's basically, most of the time, it's just going to be talking to like a normal person and then booking onto a call. So for keep doing that, your engagement, you're pretty much just going to be doing a soft DM sort of structure. And then because they're already warm, you just can understand that they are interested in your service, which psychologically helps you. And that means you can nurture them a bit easier. And then DM pipeline. So obviously they're going to go cold, warm lead. Once they're a warm lead, tag them as a warm lead. If you go on your DM, tag, lead. Someone that's shown any interest in your offer, keep going back to them. Keep following up. If you DM someone cold, you want to do 3 DMs. And if they don't reply, that's fine. Leave it. They're not interested. If they do reply, show interest. You can follow up 9 times. 9 times. It sounds ridiculous, but I've had people showed interest, ghosted me for 3-4 months, and then booked a call because I've just followed up so many times, and they don't care. No one's like, "Oh, can you stop spamming me now?" Some people would be like that, but most of the time they aren't going to care. Block you, fine. Or eventually they're going to come to and they're going to book a call. Okay, so now you've watched that whole video, you should have all the foundations that you need to know to start signing clients on Instagram. Like I said, don't be perfect, be real, be human. And here's the truth, Instagram can take you to those first 5-10k months, but the diamonds are in the ecosystem that you can build beyond that. So once your Instagram's dialed, think of that as your high street. This is where you capture eyeballs and get attention on your post. But you redirect those to YouTube, which is your universe. That's where people come and trust you. Then you can even throw in a lower ticket offer like a sprint, a community, a webinar. This is where people can put the skin in the game and show you that they're serious. And that's how you build a system that keeps people there for good. And like I said, the beauty is that you don't need 1 million subs to make it work. 1,000 subs on YouTube puts you in the top 14% of creators. I've seen people that land a couple hundred views on a video, but that video makes them 10k plus because every single one of those people is one of their ICP. So it's not about going viral, it's about building trust with the right people. So if you're still sat there thinking that Instagram's just a nice to have, well, that is too late to stand out. You've got it so wrong. It's not about influence, it's all about opportunity now. And the foundations you're going to set today are the pipeline that's setting you up for years. So if this video was helpful and you want a next step, I've got another video that will take us even deeper into those strategies. So check the link in the description for that. But I've also got a free business audit that you can take today that will show you personalized bottlenecks on where you're leaking power. This is full analysis, full strategy, and full implementation into your business of your biggest leak. That'll be linked down below. Please feel free to go give that a try because you don't need more hustle, you need clarity, you need systems, and you need leverage. That's how you stop renting attention and start owning it.